champions. They are the winners all the time. But I just want to give you a glimpse. What is it actually happening on the ground? Okay, let me give you a video. Let me give you a video now. So this is I hope you guys can see this. Okay, I hope. Okay, can you hear this video?
Go ahead.
But I wouldn't. Do you know why?
Yes.
Do you know why I wouldn't do that? Because I really want to engage with you. I really want to engage with you. That's
okay,
why.
before I go further, I'll give you an idea. Then the picture you can see your great champion Adnan Rashid, okay, and the other Dawa guys that is in the speaker's corner, okay. This is Adnan Rashid for you guys, and this Dawa Kerala Dawa team, they always get resources and ideas from these London people, and especially the Pakistani people. So these are the guys way back, maybe under 10 years or so. This is a video where they proclaim themselves as the champion of the Dawa. And they're trying to speak to one of the professors to convince him that Quran is the word of God. Quran got all the answers. Basically what we claim here in particular. The Quran got all the answers. Okay, now I want you to listen to this, especially if Arif Hussain is listening. So this is the guy who proclaimed himself as the champion, who proclaimed that he defeated you. Okay, just I'll give you an idea what sort of a person he's. Okay, now I want you to listen to this.
Outdated cliches. Would you appreciate me doing that?
Go ahead.
But I wouldn't. Do you know why? Do you know why I wouldn't do that? Because I really want to engage with you. I really want to engage with you. That's why.
But no, you do not. You,
course I do.
You want to parrot dogma at me and have me accept it.
I'm actually accepting a lot of your assumptions and premises. I don't have a problem with that.
Well, you did also try to assert and project faith onto him.
Yes.
And
well, he said it was an assumption. That's why.
Okay, and you can make an assumption based on evidence. Faith
but he said
is
he
an
had no
assertion
evidence.
based on no evidence.
No, well, we've been talking quite
no, I do have
evidentially
evidence.
here.
That's what I'm telling you. That when, for instance, when we look at Aristotle's words, when we look at the descriptions of the Quran, we see a correspondence.
Well, you haven't shown us any correspondence.
Yeah, that's the point. That's a statement.
You haven't shown us. This is a statement. Aristotle is like the Quran. How?
I'm like Einstein,
Aristotle also describes the emergence of...
Okay, now I want you to listen to this carefully. Now, this guy is asserting something that Quran's got absolute truth in it, okay? The Quran got absolute truth in it. So what this guy, I'm not going to tell who this is yet, but he's saying that, you know, Quran's not got that much of a thing in it. It's just like it's collecting stuff from people like Aristotle or the Greek philosophy. So let's see what is the argument goes like. Okay, let's see. I want you to listen to this carefully.
Bones and muscle.
Right.
In sequence.
Right.
Okay.
And it's like the Quran.
And it's like the Quran. Which
well, does Aristotle say the bones come first and then the flesh and the muscles? Does he say that? Are you sure?
Anybody that works...
I'll let you think about it.
So the question here is, does Aristotle say that the bones comes first? Okay? Because he claims that that's in the Quran. The bones comes, he's talking about embryology of the Quran, and he says that the bones comes first. I want you to listen to this carefully.
Anyone that works with livestock,
is that what
I'm not saying it. Can you
is that, sure? Is that what the Quran specifically says?
Absolutely. This is exactly what the Quran says.
Can I add on one thing?
Because you just demonstrated.
Ajibro, just one moment, please.
Yeah, go for it.
Can you pause for a moment, please? Just, can I add one thing, please? Maybe for the audience,
Yeah.
The Englishman, I don't know his name, who is discussing with Adnan, Rashid, and other people. This man is saying, Quran has got it all not clearly right, but Quran was borrowing information from ancient texts. That was his claim. But then
Greek
Adnan
philosophy.
is saying no. Greek philosophy, especially from Aristotle. Then Adnan is questioning this professor about where or when, if Aristotle has said that the bone was created first, sequentially, then flesh, then sequentially other things. He's asking, Adnan Rashid is asking the professor, has Aristotle made this sequential order? But that's not the case he's arguing about. Yes, please continue, please.
Okay, now I want you guys to listen. I want you guys to listen. So Actually, what this professor is doing is steelmanning the Quranic position. Okay, he is steelmanning the Quranic position. I'm not gonna. I simply said I was not supposed to say that's the professor. I should have avoided from doing that. But you will soon find out where Adnan is heading now. Okay.
Happens in
Well,
the
this is what the embryologists are telling us.
The
This is
embryo-
exactly
no,
what the
they're not.
embryologists are telling
No,
us.
they're not.
Okay.
Embryologists.
Let me tell you what Keith Moore said. I mean, you can disagree with him.
He doesn't like people.
I don't know why you don't. What he said on.
So now the Quranist is he's just pointing to an embryologist called Keith Moore. Okay. So Keith Moore is exactly saying what Quran says. That's the claim of Adnan. Okay, let's see how it goes.
Page number 364A of his book, The Human Embryo, that in the 7th week the bones are formed, and immediately after that the flesh is formed, and the flesh, the bones
is
are clothed with
nonsense.
flesh. Keith Moore is wrong. He's an embryologist. This is his field.
It's my field too.
Okay. Now he's saying that, do you think that Keith Moore is wrong? He is an authority. He is an embryologist. Okay. The Quran is the same. Exactly what the modern embryology is saying, that Keith Moore is pointing, and the book number and the page number and the book and everything is mentioning. Let's see how it goes. Is it going to be well with him? Let's see.
It's my field too. I know he's wrong.
You're an embryologist?
That yes.
Oh, great. Wow. Wow. That's news.
So that's wrong. Because
I
That's
hope you guys
wonderful. Don't play with
understand.
me.
Yeah, we will listen. I want you guys to listen to this, okay? He's claiming that he's pointing to another embryologist. Now let's see how it goes.
You're an embryologist?
that yes.
Oh, great. Wow. Wow. That's news to me. Okay.
No, he's wrong.
You're an embryologist?
That yes.
Oh, great. Wow. Wow. That's news to me. Okay.
So that's wrong, because what happens first is you have
Now, okay. Now, the guy turned out to be the best in the business, okay? The guy turned out to be, what happened is he went to the Quran, and then he said that bones are formed first, which is fair enough. He came and he argued that this is true because an embryologist called Keith Moore said this, and he said, are you better than him? And he said, yes, this is my field. I'm an embryologist. Now, normally, if this is the case, if you're an honest person, what will you do? Tell me, Adnan, what will you do if an honest person? You will say that is correct, right? You are the one, you know better than me, and then he will move forward. Let's see how he goes in this conversation. I will tell you the whole story. Trust me, I'll tell you the whole story. Don't jump the gun. I'll tell the whole story. This is how normal dawa going to speak. Okay, this is what is going to be his response.
of mesoderm.
Right.
Then within the mesoderm, you have segregation into things like embryonic mesoderm.
Now the professor is explaining what is exactly happening, being an embryologist himself, and is giving him a lecture. Okay, this is what happened.
On the
This is what
embryonic
happens to
stages. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
This is what's happening to the Arif Hussain. If you are listening, this is the guy how he speaks. He speaks with authority and he is assertive. Whatever he speaks is simply nonsense, nonsensical.
Stupidity.
Okay?
He's very pompous in
Stupidity.
his words, and stupidity in his highest form.
Yeah, and arrogant and stupid. This is what happened. Okay, let's see.
Embryonic mesenchyme, and then you have these cartilaginous centers that will form bone.
Right.
And these are forming simultaneously with each other.
Right. Simultaneously.
So yes.
Even if that's the case, the Quran is right. Because thumma is very, very, very.
We hear that? Even if that's the case, Quran is right.
How come, Adnan? Simultaneously
This is height. This is height. Even if this is the case, Quran is right.
And he's right.
कैसे कर सकता
What
है
a
यार तू?
stupid
यार
nonsense
अदनान
is
भाई
that?
एक चीज मुझे बता यार कैसे कर सकता है यार ये ऐसे में मत how can you do this यार don't be a Pakistani यार have some sort of honesty यार कैसे भी कर सकते चलो बोलो आगे बोलो यार आगे बोलो पाकिस्तानी लोग ऐसे ही कर सकते हैं चल आगे बोलो
Even if that's the case, linguistically, the Quran is right. Thumma literally can
Wow. ഒന്ന് pause
think-
ചെയ്യാവോ, അജി ബ്രദറെ?
Yes,
So embryonics പോലെ ഇപ്പൊ linguistic ആയി. ഒരു
Let me
minute ഒന്ന് pause
The
ചെയ്യണമേ.
professor don't know what to do now. Even if that's the
Because
case,
he's turned
Quran
into-
is right. Look at
into
the
linguistics now.
people, those who are listening. They're all the old ladies are all laughing. How can anybody be dishonest like this? I don't know. But I will tell you one thing. Adnan is a bit more reasonable. I'll tell you later how. Okay, I'll tell you how. I'll tell you how these guys change their position. Okay, you are saying that Quran is a book full of wonders. This is what an average Dawa Gandhist in Kerala will also say. An average Dawa
One
Gandhist in the
point
north
can I
of
add,
India will
please?
also... Sorry?
Yeah. Aji bro, can I add after you finish one point, please, if I may?
Yeah. Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, Adnan now he had the position that
Wait.
Quran has a scientific
Don't jump the gun. Don't jump the gun. Don't jump
No,
the gun.
I'm not
now.
jumping.
Okay.
No. I'm just saying what he said. He said now,
Yeah.
even linguistically, from scientific position, he just shifted to linguistics of the Quran. That was not the case he started with. This is how the Dawa Gandhists shift their goalposts all the time. When he was
Now I'm going to
cornered,
give you another
he's
shifting,
changed.
brother.
Thank you.
I'm going to give you another shifting. Wait for me. That's what I thought you're going to break that. No, not yet. Okay, now he's saying that he lost the argument completely. Now he's saying that because this guy don't know Arabic, he's saying, look, that word also. Then how on earth can you claim like that? Adnan ji, आप ऐसे कैसे कर सकते हैं यार? This is
झूठ बोलते
total
हैं, झूठ
stupidity.
पूरा झूठ बोलते हैं ना,
झूठ
झूठ.
मत बोल यार, ऐसे भी झूठ कैसे बोल सकता है किसी आदमी? हाँ, किसी आदमी कैसे कर सकता है? तू बोलना यार, आगे बोल.
I think what's interesting, even if you're right, that means we would have to assume that the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings
Look at
upon
that
him,
smile.
actually used to go and look into biology. He was a biologist. He would actually go and investigate things about
He was an
mountains.
astronomer?
He must have had a library of an Alexandrian magnitude.
Now he is claiming that how did he even get Aristotle gone? Look at the way they shift the goalposts. Now, look, Aristotle is a great philosopher. How can, if that's the case, how can he get that thing? Because he's a nomad, he's an Arab. Arab doesn't know anything. They're dumb asses. Really? If you travel a bit, if you're a merchant, you need to be reasonable. यार. कैसे कर सकता है? What sort of a twist is this?
But even when you make these assumptions, it's still problematic.
He was a
Wait, no,
geologist?
because this is what I've been telling you.
Sure.
There are no embryological details of any consequence in the Quran.
Well,
This is not stuff.
the details are not there. You're right. The
This is
details
not
are
stuff
not
that
there.
requires a huge library to figure out. This requires a passing acquaintance with general knowledge about the primitive state of biology at the time.
That's a fair point. Are you willing to accept now that Muhammad possibly had general knowledge about astronomy, hieroglyphics? He had knowledge of, for example, geology.
Yep.
He's talking about isostasis, something about isostasis. Okay, so he must have been going around studying with some scholars in Arabia. He wasn't a shepherd. He was a very literate man.
The
He
intellectual
was
of the time.
teaching in a university. He was an intellect, and all those people who believed in it at the time, there must have been blind bunch of bigots, and they just followed him just for the sake of it.
I have to agree there at least. At least in all the conversation he said, I have to agree that they are a bunch of bigots. Yeah, I agree to that. Fully my
Wonderful.
friend.
Wow.
I have to
The
agree.
followers of Muhammad have been all bigots, huh? Very good.
That's what he say. Probably I have to agree there. Some of them, I don't know. They may not be deliberate, but some of them are for sure. I agree.
Yeah, I'm saying that he's a man of his times, that he was part of a culture,
Right.
that the Arabs of that time were not quite as primitive and dogmatic and ignorant as you seem.
Well,
to
it depends what books you're reading, sir, because this is my
I'm saying they had.
I'm a historian from the University of London, and I'll refer you to the books of Irfan Shahid, who's an authority in this.
Okay, my friend, this is the Dawa team. Okay, this is the type of people that we are dealing with, and they may be assertive. They may speak with a bold face. They may tell anything and everything that they could. And right on the face, they can change the position. And before they were saying, what? The bonds are formed first, and I said, no. When they came to know, they got schooled by the proper person. They said, well, Quran also means that. Shame on you, Dawagandist. Shame on you, guys. Poor, very poor. Now, I'll tell you one thing. So, unfortunately, this didn't went well. Sathya brother, do you want to add something? And then I'll give you a rough idea what happened after that, okay?
No, this has been a shift of goalposts, meaning shift of their argument from scientific miracles of Quran to, sorry.
Yeah,
my screen is changed. Sorry. Yeah, scientific miracles of Quran to linguistics. This is how they change their position each time when they go wrong in their argument or their position. So this is dawa tactic. They use pompous words. They use kind of a rhetoric. They use semantics, all kinds of, how do I put it as? They put it, they use all kinds of logical, argumentative styles just to get their position, but they can be very untruthful. They can say lies also. So therefore, this is Dawa tactics. All of you, those who are listening from Speaker's Corner, all the time when you listen to these kinds of people, you can check not just one video, all the videos they do, they are using these tactics, including lies. Thank you. You may carry on.
Okay, now I'm going to tell you after this debacle, what his team did. Okay, this is Hamza again. Hamza sources for you. His name is Hamza Andre sources. What happened post this incident? I want you guys, if any of you watching, I would request you, please go to a bigger TV size if you are at home. Otherwise, you can just use your fingers to make, if you're watching a YouTube bigger. I'm going to display what happened post this. Okay. So again, this is Hamza Andreas sources for you, and he made a paper. Okay. So if Arif Hussain is listening, this is the type of guys you're dealing with. Okay. The guys in Kerala, they don't have a clue. They don't have a clue. They are 15 years back. Okay, I'm going to give you what happened. This is actually, this is what happened. Okay. So the question is, does the Quran contain scientific miracles, a new approach on how to reconcile and discuss science in the Quran? They were basically dismantled. So what will you do? Up until the last 40 years, maybe at least 100 years, 100 years to 40 years in between. They were claiming that Quran is a wonderful book. It's full of science, full of wonders. It's been preserved well and everything. Now they got this one, okay? They have tasted this and they tasted defeat. Now they're going to change the position, okay? Now, this is the figure for you. I hope, let me highlight this a bit more, okay? Because it's pretty hard to read even for me because I'm getting older myself. Let's see how it goes. Since the 80s, there has been a growing movement of Muslim academics and apologists using science to establish the miraculous and the divine nature of the Quranic discourse on a grassroots level. Muslims across the world, especially in the West, try to articulate the veracity of Islam by using verses that allude to science as evidence for the Quran divine authorship. The interest is full of websites, essays, videos, and posts on the scientific verses of the Quran. A Google search on the Quran and science produces over 40 million search results. Okay, from 80s, that's what I said, more than 40 years. They were doing it. They were doing it before. That's what my assumption is. But again, they themselves admit that at least from the 80s, 1980s, they were doing it. If you search Quran and you get 40 bloody million search results, okay? 40 million search results. We got essays, web pages, videos, scientific papers, everything. So-called scientific papers, okay? In inverted comma. So, I'm not just, look, this is not a rhetoric. I'm reading from Dawa people's own admission, okay? I'm going to read this again. So this movement has classical and modern origins. The Islamic classical scholarly traditions have engaged in a debate as to whether to use science as an exegetical tool to explain the Quranic verses. However, it was during the 80s that the apologetic expression of the movement was born, I would argue there are two main events that facilitated the emergence of his movement. The first was the publishing of the book Bible, the Quran, and the Science in the 1976, written by Maurice Bucaille. Now, listen to this person. Just like, there was a debate between me and another Dawa Gandhist in here in Kerala. He was saying that there's a Christian person who said the Quran is full of wonders. People like him. Okay. There's another name for it. Dr. Maurice Bucaille. The book's name was Bible, the Quran, and the Science in 1976. And the second was the video. This is the truth produced by the Islamic scholar Abdul Majid al-Sindani. I hope you guys in Kerala might have heard about this name by E.A. Jabbar during an interview, a debate with Imam Akbar on this matter. Dr. Bucaille and Sindani. These are the two people. Dr. Bucaille's book argued that there were no scientific errors in the Quran and the Bible was full of scientific inaccuracies. Dr. Bucaille's book became the bestseller in the Muslim world, and it was translated into many languages. Even though the book has faced academic criticism, it is still a popular read and used as a reference for Islamic apologetics and proselytization. Proselytization means basically evangelistic work in the Muslim way. So these two books, this book of Bucaille and the video by Abdul Majid al-Sindani, are what even now today Kerala people are using it. Even now, Kerala people are using it. The Islamic scholar Abdul Majid al-Sindani, founder of the Commission on Scientific Science in the Quran and Sunnah, produced a video entitled "This is the Truth." The video's name is "This is the Truth." Al-Sindani invited prominent Western academics to attend one of the conferences. During the conference, Al-Sindani claimed that a group of eminent non-Muslim scholars in several fields testified to the fact that there were scientific miracles in the Quran. However, listen, the commission received criticism that it had spread out of context and misleading statements to justify the narratives. Relatively recently, an atheist video blogger and commentator personally contacted some of the scientists. Now listen, okay? I think most of you guys know, but now listen to this. Relatively recently, an atheist video blogger and commentator personally contacted some of the scientists who had attended the conference and conducted interviews with them. The interviews were recorded and uploaded on YouTube. All of the scientists he interviewed claimed that their statements had been taken out of context and that there is nothing miraculous about the scientific statements in the Quranic discourse. So that is the truth. Now, by his own admission, this is Hamza sources for you. This is not a Christian. This is not an atheist. This is Hamza sources himself. He said that this is all rigged up. This is not true. This is falsehood. This is exactly how the Dawa people works. Okay, let me read it again. The Islamic scholar Abdul Majid al-Sindani, founder of the Commission of the Scientific Science in the Quran and Smith, produced the video entitled "This is the Truth," and this all turned out to be what? False. Now let us read. In spite of this, millions of booklets and pamphlets have been printed that make the claim that there are scientific miracles in the Quran, and the countless non-Muslims have converted to Islam as a result. Because of this, believe me, it continued, and a lot of non-Muslims have converted to Islam as a result. This is a proper dawa, falsehood, and lie. This growing movement has influenced academia too. For example, an academic book published by Curson entitled Quranic Translation, Discourse, Texture, and Exegesis dedicates a few pages on the topic. Famous popularizers such as, now listen, now here comes the big thing. Famous popularizers such as Dr. Zakir Naik, Yusuf Estes. In our little Kerala, there's another guy called Imam Akbar. All these Dawa people, though, all echoed this. They all said this time and again, oh, Quran is a book of wonders. And thousands of people converted believing this. And now, look, this is not me saying this. I'm just reading from a proper Dawa. Even you can see him on the streets of London. This is the truth. This is the bloody truth. So due to this intense popularization over the past few decades, there is now a growing counter movement that attempts to demystify the so-called scientific statements, and they seems to be more nuanced with a growing popularity. A significant number of apostates from Islam, many of whom I have had private conversation, cite the counter movement's work as a causal factor in deciding to leave the religion. Now, many people are leaving the religion because of this. It's not me, it's not the missionary team, it's not the atheist, it is the Dawa team. They were all false, and people are leaving the religion. But in our state, Kerala, you were laughing upon what's his name? I always forget his name. Oh God. Arif Hussain. Arif Hussain. The Malayali people still believe this bloody lie. You know that? So, nevertheless, do I believe that apostasy is not entirely an intellectual decision, but rather a spiritual and psychological problem. This can include a lack of spiritual connection with God and disheartenment with Islam due to unfortunate negative experiences with Muslims and the Muslim community. Jago Grahak Jago is saying that many people are leaving because of these blatant lies. Regrettably, look at him. Hamza, you have the courage to say that in public. Maybe you are a champion. Regrettably, the scientific miracles narrative has become intellectual embarrassment for the Muslim apologists, including myself. This has become an intellectual embarrassment for Muslim apologists, including myself. A few years ago, I took the same activists to Ireland to engage with the audience and speakers at the World Atheist Convention. See that? I was there. I attended this one, and I was embarrassed now to speak about this. Yes, Mr. Hamza. Yes, Mr. Adnan. This is you. You are telling lies on the face of millions of Muslims. Do you have the audacity to say sorry, Adnan? You haven't done that yet. Hamza is courageous. He said that. Adnan, you're keeping mum. Can you come and say sorry? Throughout the convention, we had a stall outside the venue, and its result positively engaged with hundreds of atheists, including the popular atheist academic Professor P.Z. Myers and Professor Richard Dawkins. During our impromptu conversation with Professor Myers, we ended up talking about God's existence and the divine nature of Quran. The topic embryology came up, and Professor Myers, now I'm going to tell his name, P.Z. Myers. Professor Myers, being an expert in the field, challenging our narrative, he claimed that the Quran did not predate modern scientific conclusions in the field. As a result of posting the video of the engagement online, we faced a huge intellectual backlash. You understand? Poor people, Kerala, Dawa, Gandhist, you understand what's happening in the international field? You guys don't know. So if he can heckle, people like Sathya brother go there, they got heckled. 3,000 people come and heckle, they just boo on you, they just throw stuff at you. They ridicule you. That doesn't make your claim truthful, mate. You understand what I'm saying? You understand what I'm coming at? That we received innumerable amounts of emails by Muslim and non-Muslim. The Muslims were confused and had doubts, and the non-Muslims were bemused with the whole approach. Consequently, I decided to compile and write an extensive piece on the Quran and embryology with the intention to respond to popular academic contentions. So I decided, who? Hamza decided. During the process of writing, I relied on students and scholars of Islamic thought to verify references and to provide a feedback in areas where I had to rely on secondary and tertiary sources. Unfortunately, listen to this now. Unfortunately, they were not thorough, and they seem to have also relied on trusting other Muslim apologists. So this is the lie. See, remember that conversation. We regurgitate. Remember what's his name again? Sathya brother, what was his name? The one said there are holes in the narrative. Yasir Qadi. So we regurgitate. We repeat the lies one to another, and that person repeat the lie. So this is how the lie multiplies. So I will read that again. Unfortunately, they were not thorough, and they seem to have also relied on trusting other Muslim apologists. When the paper was published, it was placed under the microscope by atheist activists. Although they misrepresented some of the points, they raised some significant contentions. Now, as a result, now let's see what Hamza is going to say. I have since removed the paper from my website. Hands up, I accept defeat, failure. In retrospect of this never happened, I probably wouldn't be writing this essay now. I'm not going to do this anymore. It is all a learning curve and important part of developing intellectual integrity. You understand?
Yeah, at least hats off to this man who was honest to
Hamza sources
proclaim
for you
that,
guys.
yes, that
That
he
was an
gone wrong.
intellectual embarrassment for his community, for Muslim. Many people left Islam. People in Kerala even don't have a clue about this. Sindani made this mess. That Christian you called made a mess. Many millions left Islam because of that. It's a constant embarrassment. It happened right in front of the video. You cannot deny it. You cannot mask it. They're changing position. Tell me, Adnan, what's your position? Have you said sorry on this? You were converting literally thousands of people in the streets of London. You're preaching the same thing in the what's that called, the speaker's corner. You're doing this time and again. What were you doing there? In light of this essay aims to provide a rational and Islamic perspective on how to I'm reading again, okay? In light of this essay aims to provide a rational and Islamic perspective on how to understand the scientific verses in the Quran. It is time more people from the Muslim community spoken out against the problematic approach to verify the divine nature of the Quran. It has become an intellectual embarrassment for Muslim apologists, and it has exposed a lack of coherence in the way they have formulated the argument. So it was a total embarrassment. They stopped it. I am stopping this significantly. Many Muslims who converted to Islam due to the scientific miracles narrative have left the religion due to encountering opposing arguments. So many people, you know, you are always saying these lies and people convert. And when they came to know, they left Islam, and it was a constant embarrassment for us. That's what they're saying. This essay intends to explain how the scientific miracles narrative is problematic and incoherent. Can this Imam Akbar who was claiming this say sorry on this? Can Zakir Naik who was saying this say sorry on this? No, they won't. They will stop. They will just keep their mouth shut. Okay? And it aims to bring a new approach on how to, now they're trying another way. Okay, this is a total failure, guys. We lost it. We'll try this another way. It must be noted that I am not asserting that the Quran is inaccurate or wrong, or there is nothing remarkable about the Quranic statements alluding to natural phenomena. I am simply bringing to light the perilous nature, the claim that Quranic verses are miraculous due to their scientific content. For this reason, I'm offering a new approach to the topic that is nuanced and bypasses the intellectual hurdles, the problems faced by. Look, now he's saying that he is trying to find a new way. Okay? Now, that argument is lost. Now, look, this guy is phenomenal, isn't he? He's finding a new way. This is how Islam spreads, through lies. He lost that argument in front of the whole world. Kerala Dawa people, they don't have a clue what happened on the real ground. They still preaches about Quran was a wonder and it's got miracles in it. It's scientific wonder, miracle. Now it's all been ridiculed. It's a constant embarrassment, okay? You understand what I'm saying? At least hope some of you guys understand. Okay? A summary of the scientific miracles claim. The scientific miracle of the Quran are expressed different ways, but the same philosophical implications. The Prophet Muhammad, whom upon be peace, did not have access to the scientific knowledge mentioned in the Quran, therefore it must be from God. He is Stillmaning himself. No one at the time of in Revelation or the 7th century had access to the necessary equipment to understand or verify the scientific knowledge in the Quran. Therefore, it must be from God. So he's still manning himself. The Quranic verses were revealed at a time where sciences were primitive and no and no human could have uttered the truths mentioned in the Quran. Therefore, it must be from God. So there are an array of reasons why above expressions of the scientific miracles are problematic and incoherent. These include the fallacy of the undistributed middle, inaccurate history, theology of the Quranic verses, scientism, the problem of induction and empiricism, unscientific verses, miracles, simplicity, and a note on Quranic exegesis. Each of these points will now be explained in detail. Now he's going to explain this. Bottom line, because this is a very big essay, I'm not going to read all that crap, but I'm going to tell you this is the truth. So just to put in perspective, okay? Just to put in perspective, my dear friend, am I audible or what? I can't see any of you. Am I audible?
I can hear you on here on
Okay,
Zoom.
okay,
But,
because
yeah.
okay, that's fine. Look, this is the story. Okay, this is the story, and I'll give you another video. I will give you another. Look, this is today is your. I mean, this is your beautiful day, guys. Look, this is the story where. So now they are shifting the goalpost. Now in the speaker's corner, they don't claim Quran is full of scientific wonders. There were two claims: Quran is wonderfully preserved, and Quran is full of scientific wonders, miracles. It's directly the word of God. Okay. Now, from 2010 onwards, they stopped it. Now they don't say that in public, but still in Kerala, still the Mujahideen say this. Quran is wonder. What wonder? It is a wonder by how it exists even today.
Bro,
yeah.
I think the Kerala Dawa Gandhis are at least 15 years behind the international Dawa or international intellectual areas. I think so. They are 15 years back at least.
Yeah.
So
And we are
probably
going to
that's the
teach
reason.
them. Yeah, and we are going to teach them, Satya brother. We are going to teach them. Trust me, we are going to teach them. Okay, now the second claim, okay? Now the second claim, Dawa Gandhis are speaking in all their daras, in all their madrasas and everything in Pakistan. यार हर क्या बोलते हैं? हर मस्जिदों में आप यही बोलते हैं. हर रोज, हर नमाज को यही बोलते हैं आप लोग. ठीक है? This is what is going to happen to them as well. Okay. Now, the second one, the two things about Quran, it is wonderfully preserved, the same word to word, letter to letter, and this is full of scientific wonders. Now we know that the scientific wonder thing is gone. Now, by their own another admission by Dr. Shabir Ali, I'm gonna show that to you now. Okay, the same guy, you can see them time and again. The same guy, you can see them time and again. Let's see how this goes. Okay. Come on, Shabir Ali, let's do some business. I hope you guys can listen, okay?
On with thinking that, okay, everything has been preserved dot for dot, letter for letter.
And frankly, the Quran has been preserved, we believe.
Okay, I will start from the beginning. Okay, guys, please listen. Listen to this carefully. This has been the agenda. This has been the thing for the last 1300 years. Allah's word is preserved letter to letter, word by word, harkat by harkat. And you can see the same guy speaking in public. Okay. Now, the Christian missionaries, they started researching this. They started doing the business. I'm not saying that this is, look, I have ultimate respect for the ex-Muslims, but the problem is your criticism is only on the surface, guys. Okay, let's see what's going to happen. Okay, this is from a Christian website. They have compiled it. They're going to teach them a lesson. Now let's see.
Bothering to learn, they have just simply parroted a common way of speaking about the Quran and saying, it's 100% the way it's always been, with no variation or change whatsoever.
Our claim, the Muslim claim, has been for the last.
This guy, what's his name? Arif
Adnan Rashid again. Adnan
have you seen this
Rashid, the
guy?
famous Davagantist.
this is for you. This is for you, Arif. This is a तोहफा. मेरे तरफ से एक तोहफा ले लो आप. ठीक है, आरिफ जी आप तोहफा ले लीजिए मेरे से. आरिफ हुसैन जी मेरे तरफ से एक तोहफा है, आप ले लीजिए. ठीक है?
Have just simply parroted a common way of speaking about the Quran and saying, you know, it's 100% the way it's always been, with no variation or change whatsoever.
Our claim, the Muslim claim, has been for the last 14 centuries that the Quran is absolutely word by word preserved. Word by word.
The sense of complacency that many Muslims have gone around with, thinking that, okay, you know, everything has been preserved dot for dot, letter for letter.
And frankly, you know, the Quran has been preserved, we believe, word for word, letter for letter.
Which actually is not a scholarly way of thinking about the Quran. Our scholars have always known and have always described in our classical books.
What?
variations.
What? What do you mean? What?
Okay, we'll start with Adnan Rashid again. Adnan जी आप जरा देखिए सुन लीजिए ना, ठीक है? आप मेरे तरफ से एक तोहफा आपके लिए, ठीक है? इंडिया से आपके लिए एक तोहफा है, ठीक, ले लीजिएगा, ठीक है?
Absolutely word by word preserved. Word by word.
The sense of complacency that many Muslims have gone around with, thinking that, okay, you know, everything has been preserved dot for dot, letter for letter.
And frankly, you know, the Quran has been preserved, we believe, word for word.
I hope you guys understand. I hope you guys recognize this guy. This is another champion of the Dawah, Muhammad Hijab. Okay.
By the way, just a word. We don't see him anymore. Yeah, just by the way, we don't get to see him anymore. At least for the past 3 weeks, I've been going there to the speaker's corner. I've not seen him since.
So he's been heckled by his own people. Now he's fighting the infight, just like the normal, you know, they are eating the flesh. Okay, let's see how it goes. So this is Muhammad Hijab for you guys. Muhammad Hijab in his famous statement, word by word, letter by letter, it is preserved Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's wonder. Kya baat hai, bhai sahab?
Which actually is not a scholarly way of thinking about the Quran. Our scholars have always known and have always described in our classical books variations.
Can you pause for a moment, please? Can you pause for a moment, please, Ajibra? One moment, please. But Shabir Ali, the question is to you. If the scholars always known that it has not been, or it had not been preserved, why you lie to the world? Why you made all these idiots like Muhammad Hijab and Adnan Rashid to go around and proclaim that Quran has been preserved word by word, letter by letter, dot by dot? You guys, you made this problem. You created this problem for these little people like Adnan Rashid and Muhammad Hijab. Thank you.
Okay, now you can see again on the picture, you can see the other guy who is holding the placard about the thing. Adnan, you can see that, right? Who's the other guy? He's another one. What's his name? I forgot his name, this guy. But anyway.
To be honest, I see him these days at Hyde Park, but I forget his name all the time.
Oh, he's very
Bengali,
popular.
I think, yeah. Very popular there.
He's from Bangladesh.
He's not as vigorous as before, but he's around, but not as pompous and vigorous as he was before.
Yeah. They're all been schooled now. They're all been schooled. Only they lost the ideological battle. Anyway, let's see. This is the other guy. You can see him holding the placard. Okay, I'm gonna play this again. Okay.
Quran has been preserved to the letter.
Many Muslims have gone around with thinking that, okay, you know, everything has been preserved dot for dot, letter for letter.
To the dot and to the sound when we talk about this.
They have just simply parroted a common way of speaking about the Quran and saying, you know, it's 100% the way it's always been, with no variation or change whatsoever, which actually is not a scholarly way of thinking about the Quran. Our scholars have always known and have always described in our classical books variations.
Their Quran is exactly the same.
Variations.
The Quran shall remain uncorrupted, untouched, and unchallenged until the day of judgment.
In academia, there was always a suspicion, you know what, we would really like to find a pre-Uthmanic Quran. We would like to see what was there before Uthman suppressed it all and gave us the one copy which everybody has been running around with now.
The Quran that we read is exactly the one that was given to
for a second, please, Ajib.
upon him. Word for word.
Otherwise, Sathya want to say something. Okay, uske baad baal lena. Okay.
Yeah, but you need to read the little words what Shabir Ali is using. Uthman suppressed the pre-Uthmanic versions of Quran. We are not saying these things. Mr. Shabir Ali is saying that pre-Uthmani Quran code is being suppressed. Oh, it's really good. Thank you.
Okay, now the other guy is very soft-spoken. Through the teeth, he's telling the lie. Okay, let's see. Everybody, all the scholars know this, but why on earth are you telling the lie? Because you want to convert the uneducated people, confused people. You want to spread the lie, right? You were spreading the lie for the last 18 years. The last 14 centuries, you're telling the lie through your teeth. Right? Adnan, Rashid ji, बोलिएगा जरा आप क्या बोल सकते हैं आज भी कि Quran is preserved word by word, letter by letter, harkat by harkat. You are stripped off of your integrity. And then you are ridiculing an atheist who was telling, I know you, he was heckled to the core. Because he was saying in the start of the conversation that it's a teaching in Islam, and the fiqh is saying that we can hear that clearly, but you guys heckled him, and now you guys were pinpointing him to Quran. Kya aap aise bol sakte hain mere se ki this is only a Quran only religion? No. You got your tafsirs, which explains the Quran. The tafsir says, yes, there is a teaching like that. Authentic tafsirs. Your scholars, Indian Muslims, especially predominantly in the Malabar and South Kerala, in Kerala, they are in Shafi. You need to be sticking onto a madhab. Otherwise, you won't be an Orthodox Muslim. Now, for your kind information, they precisely say it is necessary to stick on to one madhab. And they say what? You can marry your out of the wedlock daughter. Clear statement. Clear as anything. Clear as anything, my dear friend. So if you have any shame at all, I agree that was a stupid mistake that Arif made. That he mentioned it is in the Quran. It is not. But one of the prominent madhab, 4 important madhabs, one of them says, Shafi madhab clearly says you can marry your own daughter born out of wedlock. Out of wedlock, you can marry. Shafi madhab also says, now it may be a news for you, you can kill a Harabi and eat him. Do you know that? You can kill an infant and eat him if you are in dire need. Shafi says that.
So you mean cannibalism
I should say
allowed?
Shafi madhab. Shafi madhab.
So
Because
you mean
they're sticking on to the words. The words are important. Okay. Imam Nawawi says.
No, I was asking.
Yeah.
Cannibalism is allowed in Islam, you mean?
Cannibalism is allowed in Shafi madhab. Okay?
Wonderful, wonderful.
You
What a nonsense is that?
You can kill and eat a human being, a person who left the religion, and
I thought it was an apostate, yeah? If anybody leaves Islam,
I
an
don't know what's
apostate.
the word for it. Sometimes I forget these Arabic words. What's that called? Munafiq, isn't it? What's that? A person who leave Islam? Whatever.
Murtad.
Murtad. Yeah, Murtad. Yeah, Murtad.
An apostate,
and then you can eat a Harabi. If you're fighting and you kill and you eat. If you want precedence, you just go to IS. They even kill human being just to get their organs. And they said there is a fatwa about it. I'm not 100% sure whether that fatwa is still there. They removed it, but there was one. You can see that from relevant English newspapers were reporting that they were killing human beings to get organs. Because once you capture a person, a Harabi, he is your property. You can do whatever you can do with him. You understand what I'm saying? This is acceptable in Shafi madhab. I'm not saying Shafi himself said it, but it is a common accepted teaching. You know all that slavery is accepted as per the madhab. You know that you can marry a 9-year-old as per your fiqh, right? Adnan, you know that, don't you? Hmm? So you were telling lies over lies over lies on a blatant way. You're telling time and again the lies, time and again. And you were ridiculing our brother Satya in front of, I don't know how many, I mean, I don't know. It was watched by around 200,000 people in Kerala itself. The YouTube video itself was viewed by 73,000. It's built on lies. You said God cursed Jesus. For what? You won't say that, right? Do you? You don't know the exegetic meaning of that, do you? You're telling lies. You were earlier claiming that there are scientific wonders in Quran. You were earlier saying that there are scientific wonders in Quran. Now you know that there is no. You're earlier saying that Quran is preserved word by word, letter by letter. Now you know it's not. Now you are ridiculing. I always say Arif saying that, who said Islam allows to marry their own daughter born out of wedlock. As a matter of fact, it does. It does. Okay? अब आपके पाकिस्तान में करता है कि नहीं मुझे पता नहीं. You're marrying your 9-year-old. You can marry a 9-year-old, a 6-year-old. As per your sunnah, the Prophet did it. Why can't you do that? You allow modern day slavery. Do you? Don't you? There is a book called, what's its name? Fatul Muin in Kerala, where they teach about the Shafi Madhab. I read that. I couldn't sleep after reading that for a few days. After reading that crap these guys are teaching time and
And one
again
more
in
thing,
public.
Ajib bro, having said that,
Yeah.
one more point to add, slavery,
Yeah.
the modern day slavery, apart from that, sex slaves are allowed. In actual, the Arabic word, which is ma malak aymanahum, in 2 Quranic words at least, it is allowed.
Yeah.
Quran number chapter 4, verse 24, and Quran number 23, the Mu'mineen chapter, verse 5 and 6 says, you can have, or if you don't have sufficient funds to marry a free woman, you can have sexual intercourse with, you can nikah a ma malak aymanakum, means your right hand possessed, meaning you capture a woman by killing or however way you want to, and you possess them. And if you can't marry using or giving meher or the dowry, you can have sexual intercourse, however you need to pay them something. That's all it says. So you can have
Look, I don't know about that, but I know.
according to
I have
Quran.
my
Thank
doubts,
you.
brother. I have my doubts about that one. Let me be very clear. One of the reason why, when I started reading the Muslim scriptures, recently, like less than a year. One of the reasons why, because I'm a Syrian Christian myself. I identify as a Syrian Christian myself. And people in Syria, I watched a video one day. That changed my perceptions, that changed my perception. So these people are going to Christian cities. It was in Facebook. They're going to Christian cities, and these days you can just translate whatever they're saying through the AI, that. Like you just put the video and then they give you an English writing, whatever. Earlier, it was not possible. Whatever they say, we don't understand. Now, simply put the video. They'll also give writing in English. And one person went to a Christian village, and they captured a woman and their daughter, and they're taking home. I mean, there are 2 people sitting on the back, or I don't remember, maybe 1 or 2. One is driving and he's saying to the people, like, this is my booty. I don't know what. There's used an Arabic term. My sex slaves. That little girl, might be 13 or 12 or something. That just broke me. And that is allowed. He's quoting a verse. I don't know. Maybe I don't really know what he said those days, but basically it says, this belongs to me. Allah gave me this.
My right hand possess. If I capture, my right hand
so this
possess.
Is in your Quran,
is
this is in your Sunnah, this is in your whatever fiqh. and they are telling blatant lies to the world. It is a religion of peace. I pity you, my dear Adnan. I pity you because this is the stage. Earlier you claimed that Quran is full of scientific wonders. Earlier you claimed that Quran is preserved. Now you say you can't say that in public anymore. But poor Kerala Dawa people, they still say that. Poor uneducated people here, they're 15 years behind, they still say that. Now you have written this big long essays and say that in public. Oh, look, you can't say that. Yes, of course, you've been ridiculed. It has been an embarrassment. Yes, it has been an embarrassment. But this was our vindication. You are putting the claims that does not belong to you. Yesterday, I also pointed out that you say that, look, Jesus, he spoke in Aramaic and the New Testament is in Greek. So which means, it is not word by word, letter by letter. So how about your Ibrahim speaks Akkadian? How about your Musa speaks Egyptian? And your Allah quotes him. Was he speaking in Arabic? No. How about Isa? Was he speaking in Arabic? No, he was speaking Aramaic, right? Was the Queen of Sheba? Was he speaking Arabic? No. So Allah can do that, but Christians cannot. So this is your double standard. Time and again, you're telling lies and doing double standard. I challenge you, Adnan, if you're hearing me, if you can come, have a chat. Have a chat.
Just by the way, just a quick one.
Yeah.
Even in Quran, we see the birds speaking and the ants speaking. So what language have they been speaking?
Yeah,
and Muhammad understood or
speaking
Sulaiman
too.
understood.
I know.
How did Sulaiman understood the language
Yeah.
of birds and ants in Arabic or any other language? Anyway, please carry on.
So I know it's been a long session, Sathya brother. It's been, and trust me, Adnan, thank you for opening this up by attacking our friend, attacking Sathya brother. You just opened a way, and trust me, we're going to continue. Trust me, we are going to continue this, okay? We are going to expose all the lies you were telling through your teeth. The lies about Quran. Now you admit in public that it's not preserved the way it should have been. It's not preserved. Now you understand that there are scientific blunders in Quran, outright, in public. You're writing purpose about it, but your people, the uneducated people, don't know that. Okay? So let us open it up a bit more. The Pandora boxes, the can of worms, we're going to open it. Okay? This is going to be opening. Trust me, because you attacked one of us. Now you're going to watch. I know this is happening there. You're heckling people. You're just shouting people out. You're throwing stuff. But unfortunately, the world has changed, mate. Unfortunately. You said yourself, you've been to Ireland and you've been a constant embarrassment. Because by attacking one of us, you are going to be a constant embarrassment now. You attack one Malayali, even though he's an atheist, he's not a Christian, but he identifies himself, he Malayali. I happen to be one. So trust me, you're going to face the same music. All right, Sathya brother, you want to conclude something because this is your show?
I just say a word of thank you. Thanks, because it's my debut appearance on a YouTube channel. So thank you for having me. And my humble suggestion, not advice, to my Dawa people all over the world, let us be honest intellectually. We are Christians. We've been told, let the truth liberate you. We are the witnesses of our Lord Jesus Christ, who is truth himself. And he never allowed us to lie or misrepresent or eisegete, meaning read a text out of it and explain something from our own whims and fantasies, but rather we read out of the text. We don't read into the text. Therefore, my humble suggestion to my Muslim friends, Dawa people, when you read our sacred scriptures, don't read into it, but read out of it and use the same standard you are using to Bible into your text. Use the same logic, same rhetoric, same approach as you are doing to the Bible. Then you will understand the truth, and then you will realize that Quran is a manipulated, it is a man-made book in which there is no holiness, there is no truth. In fact, the truth is Jesus himself. We welcome you to come back home which is Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen. Thank you very so much, Aji brother.
Thank you so much. Anyway, if you happen to be listening to this for the first time, please subscribe to this channel. Most predominantly, this will be in Malayalam, but since Sathya brother has been attacked, we're gonna continue few sessions in English. Hopefully, you'll get some. So anyway, thanks again for watching. Thanks, Sathya brother, and it's been an honor to be with you. Thank you so much, and we are gonna close this YouTube thing. We can continue if you want to continue. We can continue in Clubhouse. Thank you so much.